Good evening. Here in Sweden, I've met a person from Estonia, famous rally driver Urmo Aava. Actually, he's even more famous now as a Rally Estonia WRC event organizer. And in my YouTube channel, you can see Vanagas Extreme machines. Seems like we're switching to Vanagas Extreme personalities, people, or whatever. So, Urmo, pleasure.
Good evening.
Good evening. And the reason why we are here and this discussion here today is that we have something in common, and that's not rally and driving. It's rally, but not driving. Maybe you all know that my current co-driver is Kuldar Sikk from Estonia, but somehow it is so that Urmo has huge experience together with Kuldar, so we can say we have in common the same guy close to us, co-driver. So I think today we can talk about a little bit about Kuldar, how it is, how he is, how you started, the history together. I know some story, what he said, but it will be interesting to hear from you.
Yeah, I hope it's similar at least.
I mean, we never know.
So, it was a really funny story how we met with Kuldar, and because when I started rallying, my first co-driver was my previous father's co-driver. So his name was Herbert. He was the same age like my father. So
So your father is a rally driver as well? Your father is a rally driver?
Yes, my father is a rally driver, and my grandfather was a rally driver, and my grandmother was a motocross driver. So I'm coming from the
Petrolhead family.
Yes, completely petrolhead family, but going from Herbert, and he was an older guy, and then I had very nice co-drivers. Most of them was older businessmen. And in one moment when I get the deal with Suzuki at the end of 2002, then, as you know, Suzuki was a Super 1600, quite light car, and it came an issue of the weight of the drivers. And at that time, my co-driver weight was 110. So we need to do something. And honestly, how I found Kuldar, it's a really strange story. Me and my manager, Toomas, we start to look Estonian Championship entry list. And looking the names, and I said, Kuldar. As we remember, this guy is very light. And, by not knowing Kuldar, we choose Kuldar for the Suzuki project by the name and by the memory of that this guy is young and light.
Okay. A very nice story. Okay, yeah.
And then we met with Kuldar. He was, I think he's still have the same energy. So he had a lot of energy and a very polite young guy and a lot of passion. And we said this, we want this kind of, let's say, blood type and DNA. But we didn't know what kind of experience he had with the rally sports. And when we did the first tests, let's say light test before Monte Carlo, then in Estonia, just to understand how is our corporation. Sorry for Kuldar, but I understood that he was practicing a totally different sport. It was not rallying, but he was practicing. So we need to start from the scratch, and Monte Carlo was very hard.
Okay. So it was 20 years ago?
When we were practicing before Monte Carlo, it was 2002 December. Yeah?
So just few months more than 20 years. Okay. How many rallies did you do together?
If EWRC is not correct, then 49, I think. 49 rallies, mainly WRC.
Okay, and how many seasons, how many years was it?
2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 7, 8, and a little bit 9. So 6.5 years. Enough,
to know a person.
To know the person and, no, really the persons who do you met in your life, who you can call real friends. I think there are not many, at least in my life, and Kuldar for sure. It's one of my friends, and even in some moments, the communication was on the same level like with my wife. That even if you look the person and immediately he understood, or even if we were sitting in the car and doing this long WRC recce, and even if I said a half of the sentence, he could understand what I wanted to change or what I didn't like, and this is something special, and I think our DNAs matched, and we had a nice, really nice time and good energy in the car.
Okay. What was next driver after you?
When let's say I gave up, it's the best example. I gave up in 2009. Then Kuldar had the possibility to continue with Ott. Ott won the prize with this Pirelli star driver, and Kuldar had a chance to drive there. And time to time also Kuldar was working with Ukrainian drivers. So for me, I am joking, and I am telling him that he's a rally Kuldar. He's breeding and living rallying. Even now that he has 3 daughters, he understands that he has to calm down and build some kind of pace of his life. But I think you can agree that you see still this passion, and you see pretty much this young boy who just from the passion would like to rally.
I mean, talking about Kuldar, I see that his eyes are with fire, and he's hungry, to do best he can. Okay, so we are in totally different discipline, but somehow I feel that he's really interested into that. Have you ever thought that Kuldar will do Dakar? I mean, have you ever thought that it's in general possible, or?
For me, if you are asking me this question now, I would say that it was really logical path, that, and we have discussed about it, also. I had many years to do the Dakar, but personally that you have to have a quite huge determination to do it, and you need to make a plan. And I think with the Kuldar also we have discussed, and I knew that he has this kind of passion, and for him it was really the dream come true to go to Dakar. And now when I talk with him after the event, I felt, just we were talking through the phone, but I felt the energy that certainly he would like to go back.
Yeah, that's a bit pity that we didn't do the job until the end, because he would be much better. But even, we've done 1/3 of the car together. We had some talks already. We agreed to meet, and discuss things. So we already have very good ideas, to be honest, which, we didn't thought, or maybe we thought slightly different way. So, I mean, seems like he's full in, with all he can. It's not just him doing a job, but also, advices, also he thinks, also he lives that together. Talking about Kuldar, I mean, as a personality, as a person, as a human being, what you can say about him?
He's,
what he is like.
Like you said, he's full of energy. He has a very good sense of humor. He have had many, let's say, finally have had many different drivers. For sure, he's brave, even braver like hell. If the driver who he had before me, his name is still this guy is building rallycross cars. Valdur Reinsalu. I think also people from Latvia and Lithuania knows Valdur Reinsalu.
Even now I know him. Yeah.
And this guy was crazy because he was former motocross driver, and I remember one crash what Kuldar had with Valdur. Probably it was 2002, somewhere in January. We had a winter rally and there was 2 very big consecutive jumps. And Valdur in the Recce had idea that as a former motocross driver, he will jump from one jump and land after another.
Okay, two in one go.
But unfortunately, he didn't take into the calculation that he was driving Ford Escort Cosworth with a lot of weight distribution in the front. So they rolled in the air and landed into the roof. And for Kuldar, as he's still, not so big, nothing happened, but Valdur little bit broke his neck. And Kuldar have had a lot of big crashes with Ott, but he continued this way. And so a lot of passion, very brave, very analytic. And I would say he's pretty good with the people. Especially very good with young people. So we have trained with Kuldar a lot of Estonian young drivers together. And he has done the leading part. I have been like a trainer, but he has been like a coach and a manager. So drivers like Martin Kangur, Karl Kruda, Sander Pärn. Kuldar has a big part of their career.
You're talking about fast Estonian guys, yeah?
Fast Estonian guys.
Yeah, okay.
So he has been around, with the different drivers, and he's a good companion. When I did my WRC rallies, 1 week every time you are spending together, and as we are, mainly run low budget, so many times we were in the same room. Even we were in the same bed.
I heard one story, but
and the story is I don't know what story you heard,
whatever,
but
yeah.
I am a lunatic, so I am sleepwalker. So I'm talking in the night and I am walking around and I'm lifting things. So and in one night when this low budget, when we were in low budget hotel, I start a little bit touch Kuldar, so but nothing happened.
Okay. You understood that it's not your wife?
Yes.
Okay, it's good.
But touching only the back, so nothing bad happened.
Happens. Okay, so what do you think? Do you think Kuldar's start in Dakar will wake up interest of this type of sport or Dakar in general in Estonia?
I think yes, and if you look the Kuldar's, at least you have been talking about his personality. It really, for me is a, let's say, perfect match because he likes this kind of adventures. But if you look his network, who can be better ambassador than the sporting director of ASN? Because
Sports Federation.
Sports Federation. Yeah. So if he sees the potential and probably he knows the potential, but if he has his own experience spreading this religion, so you are a very smart guy. For sure, the answer is yes, it has the best potential.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm talking only because, I know Dakar a little bit. I like it. And I know how petrolheads Estonians are. They are really smart and fast drivers. And they've been very good in different type of motorsports. But they've not been, that much in Dakar yet. Actually, so that's why. Okay, we have Thomas Trisa, now we have Urvo Menemäe, and I heard some Estonians was driving truck some many years ago, whatever. But it was not big starts yet.
I would say that the Estonian success in rallying, that this Soviet time heritage was continuous. and somehow we breathed and lived through the change of the political power, and the Estonians continued organize the rally and participating the rally, and also going to the World Rally Championship. But if Soviet Union collapsed, this Dakar heritage stopped, because Estonian guys were doing, you are correct, they were doing with the trucks. And after this, time to time, some persons, I would say, nothing bad, but still occasionally in an amateur way have done the Dakar.
Okay.
Mart Lajal with a motorbike, and Triisa, and probably some other guys at the moment who cannot I name. And but I agree with you. If the attention is there, then if you Lithuanians can be so successful, I don't see why Estonians couldn't be. It's very healthy way. It's if you are spreading this religion and people are coming back with reasonable results, doesn't matter Toomas or Urvo. Toomas is very clever. He has done the event with a motorcycle, so he knew what to expect.
Yeah.
Urvo didn't know, but still reasonable. So the base is there, and I think your job, had a success this year.
I don't know if you know a story, but when first time we were doing Rally Estonia with Hilux, Urvo came into a service park. Yeah. And he came to me, he says, I want to talk to you a little bit, and I saw a big guy, and I never met him, and he says, I have a dream. I want to go to Dakar one day. And I said, yeah, fine, really great, good thing, and after 3 years, he's in Dakar. And, so that's how it happens. That's a true story. It was, in Tartu, in service park, he came and he asked, so, and I'm, what do you call it, I have this evidence. I've been there, and I've been listening to that. What you can suggest and wish Kulder for his future? If you have anything in your mind.
Of course, wishing all the best, but really, we have discussed with you that to make the analysis with you and really to be patient, because I never did Dakar, only I have seen the videos. I don't have any experience, but I see this event needs a lot of knowledge and patience. So you have to be, sometimes it feels that you have to be like a machine. It's so long, and even if you have some dramas, you have a puncture or you miss the route or you miss the waypoint, then continue breathing in a good way. And I think Kulder is quite good on continuously breathing in the same rhythm. So if we have the knowledge, let's say year by year, then he can be very good co-driver for Dakar. And if he's there and if he's successful, and if other Estonians are also successful, then it is this story goes on, and I think in maybe in 5 years we see more Estonians. And what I dream, I ask about you, that are you dreaming about building a Lithuanian car? I know this is crazy dream, but I see in Estonia some enthusiasts building their own circuit cars. Some of them trying to build, let's say, rallycross cars, rally cars, but would be really fun. And this is my dream, in one moment to come to Dakar with Estonian car. I know that you are pessimistic, because it is even harder way to come with your own production car. But this is something where the driving skill, navigation skill, the engineering skill, and really everything together, like a national pride, comes together. I know that it can be very painful from the pride side and from also economical side, but I hope that in one day we see a Lithuanian made car in Dakar and also Estonian made car.
I mean, everything is possible, and I would not say I'm pessimistic. It's just a matter, how many decisions you make in your life, and driving the car, making a team, finding the finances, finding a right people together with you. It's a huge job, and also to build a car and to make it quick. I mean, it's just a hard work, and I'm not that brave in general. I don't think I'm not, but I mean, there are more people in the system, so maybe one day Estonian car.
Or
Yeah.
I can expect it if it's a joint venture, Estonian-Lithuanian car. Okay, we can think maybe we are taking also Latvians, but if it's a Baltic car. But why I'm talking about this? Few weeks ago, I was looking some TV series, and one young scientist who is doing a lot of nice scientific experiments, and he explained the Estonian future very well. We have two choices: to be a consumer or to be an innovator and a leader. And I think, we have two choices. So if you are lazy, very easily we can become consumers. But to survive really in this kind of world, we need to be innovators and, the leaders. So building the car, I know how, even I don't know, but I can imagine how hard it can be. But if the world is changing from technology, we are living in very interesting times. And if you are brave and determined, I think we can do it.
I mean, I agree with you in the sense that you have to make up your mind. Are you driver in your world, or are you passenger? So in general, it's exactly the same what you said.
Yeah.
Driver is responsible for driving. He cannot sleep. He have to think and know where he is going. But at least he has, a steering wheel and brake and throttle. So I mean, he can go. If you're a passenger, you can sleep, you can eat, you can do nothing, you can look around. But you're driving where the driver is taking you. I mean, not where you want to go. So it's. It's logic what you say. And Estonians sometimes are super smart, yes.
A little bit slow, but smart.
Okay, so first edition of Vanagas Extreme Personalities, as I see now, a person's Urvama. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you. Always nice to talk with you.
Pleasure. Same here.